He always believed he was meant for something greater. From the moment he could walk, he ran not away from anything, but toward everything he dreamed of. His name was Daniel. A simple boy from a small town, with eyes that carried both hunger and hope. Every morning, before the sun painted the sky, he was already awake chasing a dream that seemed too big for the world he lived in. He didn't have much, just a pair of worn-out shoes, a notebook filled with ideas, and a belief that someday he would make it. But dreams, they don't always go the way we plan. For every person who makes it, 1,000 more fall, not because they aren't good enough, but because life tests those who dare to dream. Daniel wanted to become something, he didn't even know what exactly. Some days, he wanted to build things. Other days, he wanted to sing. But most days, he just wanted to matter. He worked hard, harder than anyone around him. He'd stay up late, reading, drawing, learning, doing everything he could. And yet, the world didn't seem to care. There were nights he'd stare at his reflection, wondering if maybe he wasn't good enough. Maybe his dream was just a fantasy. His friends had already given up. They said life was easier when you stopped believing in miracles, but Daniel couldn't. He wouldn't. He got rejected again and again. Every door closed on him, every no dug deeper into his heart. He was told to be realistic, to stop dreaming, to get a normal job. And for a while, he listened. He let the noise of the world drown the voice inside him. He started working at a small cafe, sweeping floors, serving customers who barely looked at him. His dreams, the ones that once kept him alive, were now buried under bills and exhaustion. Every night, he'd walk home under the same streetlights he once ran past as a kid. And he'd whisper to himself, "What happened to me?" Then one evening, as he was closing the cafe, an old man walked in. He looked tired, but the kind of man who had seen life in all its colors. He asked Daniel why he looked so sad. Daniel smiled and said, "I had a dream once, but life got in the way." The old man nodded slowly and replied, "Life doesn't get in the way of dreams, son. You do when you stop believing they're worth the fight." Those words hit him like thunder. For the first time in years, something inside Daniel woke up, the fire, the hunger, the why. That night, he went home, found his old notebook, and opened to the first page. Written there, in his own messy handwriting, were 3 words: never give up. He laughed and cried, because he realized he wasn't chasing fame or money. He was chasing the version of himself he used to believe in. So, he started again. From nothing. No help, no guarantees. Just him, his dream, and faith that somehow it was still possible. Days turned into months, months into years. And little by little his efforts began to bloom. People started noticing his work. Doors that were once shut began to open. And for the first time in a long time, Daniel felt alive again. He wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. But he was free. Because he finally understood that success isn't about being known. It's about not giving up, even when no one knows your name. One day, that same old man came to see him again. He smiled and said, "So, did you find your dream?" Daniel nodded and replied, "I didn't find it, I built it." The old man smiled a quiet, knowing smile and whispered, "Then you've already won." So, if you're listening to this right now, if you feel lost, tired, or broken, remember Daniel's story. Dreams don't die because life is hard. They die when you stop believing in them. And maybe, just maybe, your dream is still waiting for you to wake it up.